Do you believe this incident is proof that gender-affirming hormones are dangerous? And on the flip side, do you believe that this also solidifies the fact that gender dysphoria is indeed a mental illness?
Turn out new information about that deadly shooting at Joel Osteen's mega church in Houston. We're seeing new video showing the chaos Sunday as the shots rang out. Police say the shooter was a 36-year-old woman with a history of mental illness who had attended the church in the past year. Omar Villafranca has the latest.
Investigators are sifting through chilling new videos like this, showing panicked churchgoers in one of the country's largest houses of worship. With her son by her side, police say 36-year-old Jeffry Moreno walked into the megachurch carrying an AR-style rifle. When she was confronted by off-duty officers working security, she opened fire.
They were repetitive, boom, 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 boom.
The sound sent the congregation scrambling as security returned fire, killing the shooter.
If it weren't for them, the number of casualties and victims would have been much higher. There is no doubt.
The shooter's son appeared to be caught in the crossfire. The boy remains hospitalized in critical condition.
What's going on, crew? Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you were able to make it. Now, crew, you already know what to do. But if this is your first time here, I'm going to ask if you could be ever so kind as to drop a token in the tip cup, because your support fuels the journey. And I'm grateful for all the supporters that I have. Now, let's go ahead and get into the news.
So we just got a hold of the search warrant and can confirm that the shooter is identified as a 36-year-old Jeffry Moreno. She had been born a man, Jeffrey Escalante.
I got no words. Let me just let this play.
From El Salvador, and has a lengthy criminal record. Now, according to the search warrant from Montgomery County, she pointed an AR-15 at the officers, off-duty officers who were in the church at the time, and they fired upon her, killed her, and was considered in self-defense. Also, there was word that the woman had claimed that she had a bomb and she had a backpack. They checked that out. Turned out it wasn't true, but according to the search warrant, she was in possession of a yellow color rope and substances consistent with the manufacture of explosives. They thought that was a detonation cord. They looked into it and it turned out not to be the case. We're also hearing from local reports that the 5-year-old who was with this woman is likely not to make it. The 5-year-old boy has been in critical condition, and according to the
I want to say this, right? I hope that that innocent little boy is able to pull through from this incident. This is a horrible tragedy, something that should have never taken place. I'm glad that law enforcement that was there was able to go ahead and dispatch the situation as quickly as possible. This is very, very unfortunate and tragic. I also want to add that, to me, this is actually proof that gender dysphoria is actually indeed a mental health condition and that these people need help. I don't say that with any shade or trying to make fun of anyone who's going through this. I truly, genuinely hope that they actually get the help that they need. But to me, again, this is proof that this is what it is.
Houston Chronicle, it doesn't appear that individual is going to make it. A 57-year-old man was also shot in this altercation at Lakewood Church there in Houston, which of course is operated by celebrity pastor Joel Osteen. That individual, the 57-year-old man, he's going to be okay. He was shot in the leg. But the information we're getting now, we've seen a lengthy criminal record on this individual. Again, as a man, he had a lengthy record of assaulting a police officer, marijuana, also got a lengthy record here.
Now, I know that there are going to be some of you who are going to listen to that and say, okay, well, if he had all this going on, how the hell did he get his hands on weapons? We need gun reform in the United States and also a ban on assault weapons. Now, first, there is no such thing as an assault weapon, so we can just go ahead and get that out the way now. Two, this is also proof that criminals don't obey the law, right? So whether you put a million assault bans on weapons or whatever policy you want to come up with, the only people who are going to follow it are law-abiding citizens.
Several different offenses over about the past since 2005. So that's what we got from here, and news conference is scheduled to begin at 2:30 Eastern, and we should get more information.
Yeah, among the most serious, a 2009 assault of a police officer in Houston. William, 2010 forgery. Most recently, 2022, a misdemeanor weapons charge for unlawful carrying a weapon. William Lajeunesse, as you mentioned, 2:30, we're going to need an update from the police there, and we'll certainly take that live. Did you have something to add?
Well, no, just only on the AR-15, he had scrawled Free Palestine.
Yes.
So now they're getting into anti-Semitic language that's coming from this shooter. I wonder how the mainstream liberal media is going to cover this story. I'm going to go ahead and look into that here shortly.
A big and growing part of that story. And William, we have the picture now of this suspect up on the screen.
Yeah, and you know, when we're going to get we have 5 of those photos that we're loading right now into the computer system. But when you look at the progression of this individual over the last 5 or 6 years, definitely had a pretty hard life, because there's a great transformation from the first photos from the mugshots that were taken to the one you're seeing right now.
So born as Jeffry Escalante Moreno, goes by the alias Janice Yvonne Moreno. We're going to have more on this when the police update at 2:30. Thank you, William.
Now, you heard him say that the person had a rough life, and they actually look very different now than how they presented, you know, back in the day when they were going through their little spree. So check this out here. This is what they're actually talking about. You can actually see that, you know, the progression of this individual before they got to looking like this. Also, you also heard that he was saying that this happened at Joel Osteen's church. Now, when I listened to Joel Osteen's speech, I'm going to actually have you take a listen to that or watch that here in a second. The things that he's saying just seems a little mildly inappropriate, right? His mood doesn't actually match what just took place, this horrible tragedy at his church. Here, take a look at this.
First off, thank Chief and the mayor and Chief Pena and all of these men and women did an amazing job. And it's just, you said it, Chief, it could have been a lot worse. Of course, we're devastated. I mean, we've been here 65 years and have somebody shooting in your church. But
why is he smiling right now? To me, it just doesn't fit. I mean, maybe this is the way he's kind of processing grief. I know some people laugh when they get nervous or angry. You know, but it just doesn't seem right to me. You guys let me know in the comments if I'm missing something, but this is how I'm interpreting it.
But, you know, we don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control, and we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all, and the other gentleman. But I don't know, it's just kind of in a fog, but, you know, just believe that, you know, we're going to stay strong. We're going to continue to move forward. And there are forces of evil, but the forces that are for us, the forces of God are stronger than that. Yes. So we're going to keep going strong and just, you know, doing what God's called us to do, lift people up and give hope to the world. Again, I want to thank all these gentlemen because, you know, I can only imagine if it would have happened during the 11 o'clock service. We were in between services going into the Spanish service. So, you know, if there's anything good of it, you know what, she didn't get in there and do a whole lot worse damage. So we thank God for that. He's watching over all of us. And as the chief says, we're going to keep going strong and bringing hope to the world. But thank you again, gentlemen.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right, crew, we just got finished taking a look at that. Shout out to the officers who were able to assess that situation as quickly as possible and go ahead and take care of it before there were any more casualties. I hope that little boy is actually able to pull through. I'll go ahead and update you in the comments if I hear anything about that. And you do the same for me if you hear about it before I do. But you guys let me know how you feel about that Joel Osteen interview just now when he was talking with the police. Did something seem a little off about that to you? To me, you know, with the smiling and everything, it just seemed like it was a little inappropriate. It didn't match the seriousness or the gravity of what just got finished taking place in your church. I don't know if you know, any other pastors would have acted like that, but I don't know Joel Osteen because I don't watch him. So you guys let me know if that is his normal demeanor or not. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get into these digital streets. You guys know I like to hear from the people. Let's go ahead and get to these comments. Okay, first commenter here says using a child as a shield is despicable, and I couldn't agree more. This is horrible. You don't use a child like this. So this next commenter here says a trans man immigrant from El Salvador with a long criminal history and Free Palestine on his rifle. Yeah, that's a lot there, isn't it? I don't believe the mainstream legacy liberal media is going to cover it like this. If you guys find that to be the contrary, please let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear. I'll look it up myself too, but you know, I don't believe they're going to report it like this, but I could be wrong. But take a look at this follow-up comment here. You forgot Democrat. No, I'm probably willing to bet dollars to donuts that this person probably identified as a Democrat. You know, right now there's actually a division in their party right now. On one half of the left is saying, you know, Israel has a right to defend themselves. I'm of that camp and I'm in that camp and believe that, although I'm not a liberal. Then you have the other side of that party who are saying, you know, chants, anti-Semitic chants like from the river to the sea. You know, clearly an anti-Semitic, I don't know if you call it trope or quote or what have you, but the division inside that party, it's like they're eating themselves alive right now. We'll see what happens, but I think it's only going to continue to escalate from here. Okay, this next commenter here is actually sharing what, you know, my same exact sentiments I just got finished saying. This one is so far outside the narrative, they probably aren't even going to try and spin it. They'll just drop this story in a day or two and bury it. Yeah, I don't believe you're going to see this plastered all over the mainstream legacy liberal media outlets because it doesn't fit the narrative of the white MAGA ultra Trump supporter who's racist and doesn't like LGBTQ or anybody that's brown or black, and they're going to go and to start shooting people up. You know, so it definitely doesn't fit that narrative. Okay, this next commenter here says, "Gee, it's almost like messing with people's hormones screws up their brains." Yes, definitely. Now, I'm going to say it like this. If you're 18, do what you want to do. I don't care. But if you're under 18, I believe that this is wrong. You're hurting our children with these hormones and all these chemicals that we don't have no idea any long-term studies on this and what it does to affect the brain and to affect their psyche. In my opinion, clearly it's doing something and it's having an ill effect. So I certainly agree with Vicky Roman on this one. You guys let me know in the comments if you agree with Vicky or not. Okay, this next comment in here says, "Wait, so it's actually a dude?" Yeah, brother, it was actually a dude. This brother ran up in a church full of innocent people dressed in woman face, attempting to assassinate as many people as he could. And thankfully, he was taken down by 2 off-duty police officers. Okay, this next commenter says, "LGBTQ keeping stereotypes alive." I wish that wasn't true, but this definitely does add to the stereotype that a lot of people within this community are mentally unstable. I'm not saying everybody, but it seems like especially the T part of the community have a lot of things going on. And I think there's also some division in that community also. You know, the L's and the G's and the B's and the Q's, you know, they're not really getting along with the T's right now for whatever reason. But, you know, I don't really understand any of it, but, you know, more power to you, you know, go live life. All right, last comment here says, "A guy once said, quote, they're not sending their best," end quote. I think I remember a guy that once said that. But do you believe anybody's sending anybody? I believe they're coming across the border on their own. I mean, I know they're getting help from the coyotes or what have you, but I think the idea of coming here is either because of asylum. There's some people genuinely coming from some really tough situations, war-torn, but they should be coming in through the port of entry. And the other people are just coming here because of an economic opportunity. That may sound heartless, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not afraid to say it. That's what I believe. I believe they're coming because America is the shiny house on the hill, and they want to take part in the greatest economy in the world. That's what I believe is happening. All right, guys, that's all I've got for Digital Streets. If you enjoyed this content and you want to see more like it, make sure you hit that like button and please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm just going to go ahead and thank you in advance for checking out my other videos. So until I see you on the next one, I'll catch you in the comments. I'm gone.